How much is Tyler Perry worth exactly? Today in this video, we're going to talk about how he uses his $1 million. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe to see more videos like this. Let's get started. Tyler Perry is one of the richest suits in Hollywood who travels in Bentleys, Rolls, and Caddies. He invested his $1 billion fortune in England's most expensive supercar, a $300,000 Bentley Continental GT Sport Coupe in ice white. With the best woods, leathers, and veneers available, the 12-cylinder bi-turbo engine easily propels the 65-ton giant surrounding it at up to 208 miles per hour. There are about 5 kilometers of cables within the custom-made chariot. He must be good enough for the English royal family and the King of Atlanta, I suppose. Perry also owns a $245,000 Arctic White Bentley Bentayga. However, it was totaled when Perry T-boned a Honda Accord cutting across the freeway. In Burbank, California, this incident occurred, and fortunately, no one was gravely hurt. When he has to be superior in the automotive industry, for the super producer, a $350,000 Iguazu blue Rolls-Royce Wraith will do. At red carpet events, its rear-hinged suicide doors, which you can actually close with a button press, make a significant impression. For your information, the Bentley destroyed the Wraith in a drag race between it on the CarWow YouTube channel. However, the vehicle for which he is best known is a Medea Gold 1974 Cadillac DeVille worth $17,900 with plastic-covered seats. You can see why everyone aspires to work on Tyler Perry's films. Usually, wealthy people buy you a car before you do something for them in return. But Perry has always been a big believer in investing in the underdog. Additionally, he occasionally rides about in a $10,000 four-seater golf cart at barely 12 miles per hour, taking his time to appreciate his life's work, and occasionally drives a matte $25,000 Polaris Ranger XP 1000 UTV to explore his studio lots. The golf cart is a suitable mode of transportation because the land on which TPS is situated was formerly a golf course that was part of Fort Macpherson Army Post. Perry paid $30 million buying it in 2015 and has since invested an extra $250 million in restorations and renovations. With its own freeway sign from the 154 North Freeway, it is a true landmark. Perry threw a massive inauguration party to mark the studio's launch, which helped him maintain his name's prominence among Hollywood's elite. Even Bill and Hillary Clinton came because of him. He purposefully chose to name each of his 12 sound stages after an influential performer. The studio includes some extremely remarkable sets, like the White House replica he uses to shoot his BET Plus political drama, The Oval, and Medea's house, a four-sided home that appears to be 4 different residences from the exterior, depending on which side you're on. The budget for The Oval is $50,000 each episode. Black Panther, one of the first big films to be filmed at TPS, was a $200 million blockbuster that made $1.44 billion globally at the box office, making it proportionally even more profitable than Perry's flagship Medea series. Studio behemoth Lionsgate distributed the first 11 Medea films, while Netflix released the 12th. Each movie costs $20 million to produce, and they have sold 1 billion tickets alone. Profit of $800 million is the result. A Medea Homecoming, a Netflix original film from Tyler Perry, cost $20 million to produce. Since its February 25, 2022 release, the most recent episode of the character Perry has played for more than 20 years has been streamed 31,560 hours, more than any other of the top 10 English titles on the streaming service in terms of average viewing time. Approximately 60 million of Perry's $1 billion are thought to originate from his ownership of the premium streaming channel BET+. On his property, Perry intends to build a concert theater that may hold up to 3,000 people. Tyler began his career in theater after writing and producing his first play, I Know I've Been Changed, with his life savings. In spite of no one attending the gospel musical's 1992 premiere, he persisted. He adjusted the manufacturing and discovered marketing strategies while living out of his car, which wasn't a bad idea considering the Georgia weather. The play went on tour for 2 years, from 1998 to 2000. 6 years later, his play I Can Do Bad All By Myself, where his oversized character Medea was conceived, was funded by the earnings. This helped Perry to his first significant achievements, as he earned $100 million in ticket sales, $20 million in merchandise sales, and $30 million in video sales from Cape performances after 25 stage shows. All of this occurred prior to his 2006 debut in a feature film. Ignore the class. Tyler Perry needs a personal aircraft. To be precise, a $125 million Embraer Lineage 1000 business jet. He gave his 19-seater the moniker Flying Theater since it features a bespoke theater on board with special lighting, Blu-ray players, satellite TV, and electrically controlled cool mood window coverings. At a cruising speed of 543 kilometers per hour, the Brazilian luxury jet transports Tyler on non-stop flights across oceans to movie premieres. Operating the Embraer costs between $2 and $3 million annually. The best guess is that Tyler won't end production of his Medea films anytime soon. This aircraft has a special position in entertainment history as well, because it was used to fly Whitney Houston's body from the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills to Newark, New Jersey, where she was born. In the wake of Hurricane Dorian in September 2019, he also flew water and other needs to the Bahamas using the plane. Tyler used his own $12 million Gulfstream 5 aircraft, which he later sold to Kenneth Copeland Ministries for cash, which they are now utilizing to carry spiritual leaders throughout the world to promote the gospel. We'll talk more about Tyler's generosity later. The New Orleans-born ATLian hangs his main hat in a sprawling mansion near his 330-acre Tyler Studios factory in Fulton County, Georgia. If you're arriving by plane, it features a small runway and a private jet hangar and is located at the end of a meandering road shaded by peach trees. He spent 3 years working on the 35,000 square foot estate's design, only 20,000 square feet in total. By the way, it's not as big as the White House. He wants his son to truly appreciate the earth, environment, and animals. Therefore, the large 1,200-acre property will be converted to an organic farm. He plans to have horses like a true billionaire. Gotta live close to Hollywood. An $18 million Beverly Hills property on Blue Jay Way that the tycoon has purchased in 2004 for a pitiful $4.3 million is located there. The 25,000 square foot, 8-bedroom, 12-bath estate pad came with a 3-car garage, billiards room, home fitness center, wine cellar, and disco room. For his LA parties, he accommodates his guests' exotic vehicles with a 30-car motor court. His famous guests, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Perry does some house flipping as a side business, I suppose. He paid $14.5 million for a Beverly Hills house in August 2017 and sold it to Pharrell Williams for $15.6 million. It's now worth $17 million, so both men made money. He also lived at the majestic $8 million Belle Abry on 4110 Paces Road, a 35,000-plus square foot mansion in Atlanta, complete with acres upon acres of maze gardens and angelic statues, a 70,000-gallon infinity edge pool, an underground ballroom, and an emperor-sized wine cellar. He sold it in 2016 to televangelist Dave Turner for $17.5 million, and in mid-2018, it sold again for $15 million to Steve Harvey. That was ATL's highest listed house at the time. Directly adjacent to Georgia's Chattahoochee River, Perry has another $7.6 million mansion, Dean's Garden, which was once the largest rest in Georgia and currently has a list price of $40 million. This guy really has an eye for deals. The 58-acre site is where the 32,000 square foot Alabama Roadhouse in Johns Creek is located. To give you an idea, the carriage house is located at 10,000 feet. 8 bedrooms in the neoclassical main house have various themes including Moroccan, Egyptian, Oriental, and French, to name a few. The 3.5-story high rotunda with skylight in the Grand Salon, which was inspired by the Venetian Brunello Cathedral, is the interior's most notable feature. The game area with a 1950s Coca-Cola theme is my favorite feature. Just outside is an 18-hole par 72 golf course, conservatory, and wedding chapel that sits on a man-made lake. The massive estate costs $1.5 million a year to run and has an estate manager's cottage, caretaker's house, and greenkeeper's house to keep adequate space for the property's in-house employees. I adore architecture with all of my heart, Perry once told Architectural Digest. I would like to be an architect if I wasn't in this line of work. Moguls require a number of mansions. Perry owns Avic Chateau, a 16,000 square foot, $4 million estate in Fairburn for this reason. At 4,000 square feet, the master suite is about the size of a medium-sized house. Tennis courts, amphitheater, and 2 prayer gardens are on the property, which is owned by a devoted Christian filmmaker. The entrance foyer is defended by a life-size knight in dazzling armor, just like in a medieval castle. A sizable fountain, vegetation, and tall gates for privacy are all encircled by the front driveway. In order to demonstrate to the public how God blessed him and lifted him out of poverty, he uses his Savior as the justification for his lavish property purchases. Tragically, Tyler Perry's stepfather mistreated him throughout his childhood. Tyler Perry legally changed his first name from Emma to Tyler at the age of 16 in an effort to distinguish himself from his stepfather. He miraculously turned his bad luck into a successful career. Perry has a home in a most unexpected place, Wyoming. We're estimating his Jackson Hole log cabin to be worth around $1 million. The Hollywood Walk of Fame sits and writes in Wyoming, while the local news comes by and eats his shares. He has more writing to do than most of us mere mortals can imagine. Up to now, he's written more than 1,200 episodes of television. It's been worth his while, as presently, Viacom CBS pays him $150 million a year for new content, needing a minimum of 90 episodes every year until 2025. Slap that Tyler Perry name in the title, and there's sure to be an attentive audience for it. This is putting him on track to be a multi-billionaire by the time his 60th birthday rolls around. There's a connection between major creatives and vacations in Wyoming. The $14.5 million Bighorn Mountain Ranch near Grable and the $11 million Monster Lake Ranch in Cody are the 2 ranches owned by Kanye West. A 14,000 square foot vacation home belongs to Perry. He has also ordered a marina, a spa, and an opulent Bali-style guest house for his Bahamas estate. He owns 2 Bahamas islands, one of which is home to the Bay Cay location. For his 40th birthday in 2009, he purchased the 7 acres of Exuma and the 25 acres of White Bay Cay. The islands were marketed for $7 million, although it is still unclear how much they were sold for. He sure treats himself pretty good. For his 51st birthday, Tyler Perry rented a yacht. A one-week yacht charter from the Georgia shores would run you about $1,000 a week. Tyler spent $17,000 on his Yamaha FX SVHO Wave Runner that has been supercharged, in addition to paying the price to be the boss. The opulent boat zips across the water at up to 67 miles per hour and has an integrated audio system and Bluetooth infotainment system. The magnate spoils himself with additional delightful vacation destinations around the world, including beaches in South Africa, French Polynesia, Greece, Singapore, and Australia. He uses a $4,500 Schiller aquatic exercise bike for his morning workout. Yes, he is now a bachelor. Jalila Bakaili, his longtime girlfriend, ended their relationship. For that brand new love chapter, you need to get ripped. It's not all glitz and extravagance. Spending a few dollars occasionally will cover an internal journey. His bookshelf includes Cicely Thompson's $24 Just As I Am Bakari Sellers 20, $9 My Vanishing Country, a memoir, Katie Jake's $29 spiritual book Crushing, and Ta-Nehisi Coates' $33 The Water Dancer. Tyler Perry has won an Oscar. At the 93rd Academy Awards, he was honored for his outstanding assistance to those who were less fortunate with the Jean Herschel Humanitarian Award. He has donated $100,000 to Kenneth Walker's Legal Defense Fund, the boyfriend of Breonna Taylor. Tyler Perry sent 65 kids from a daycare to Walt Disney World in 2009 after they were denied entry to a swim club in a suburb of Philadelphia. He must have pulled out his black card and charged more than $200,000 to make that happen once he heard of the tale expressing his feelings regarding the civil rights violation. He gave away roughly $50,000 in grocery store gift cards to people in need in July 2020. He also oversees the Perry Foundation, which provides assistance in a variety of areas, including health, human rights, and education. As part of the celebrations for the NAACP's centennial in 2009, he personally donated $1 million to the group. A further $1 million was given in 2010 to the earthquake survivors in Haiti, and $1 million was given to different religious organizations in and around Houston, Texas in 2017 in the wake of Hurricane Harvey's devastation. What comes after a man surpasses his own expectations? I mean, the CW bought his first TV program, House of Pain. After noticing the enormous ratings, TBS purchased the House of Pain from the CW for $20 million, with Perry taking home an estimated $138 million. He will undoubtedly make additional gains with the Medea franchise in the near future. We are aware that no one else will ever play the legendary part. It won't be a mantle after he's gone. After the construction of his new Georgia mansion is finished, he might purchase the most expensive house in the U.S. The 295,105,000 square foot mega mansion, the LA Hilltop property called The One, has a 4-lane bowling alley, a candy room, subterranean 50-car garage, Playboy cigar lounge, juice bar, and retro-style salon. It makes Jack Warner's $195 million Hollywood castle Jeff Bezos now owns look like a fancy pool house in comparison. And acquiring that property would solidify Perry's reputation as the great entertainment industry victor. Though knowing him, he'd probably sell it to LeBron James for a profit in a few months. Owning the rights to a large portion of his work, including characters, shows, plays, and movies, is the cornerstone of Perry's earning potential. Along with Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Oprah Winfrey, and John DeMol, he joins the executive group of entertainers with a 10-figure net worth thanks to his studios. In his own words, "I'll be down in Atlanta building my own while you're vying for a seat at the table." That's all for today. What would you do if you had all the money that Tyler Perry has? Join the conversation in the comment section below. Please click the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy the video. We'll see you in the next one.